because the truth is, nothing was going to change unless I made a decision. And so I did something bold. Hi, my friend, and welcome to the Bounce Back Black Woman podcast. I'm Dell, and with God's help, I've overcome some of the toughest trials in life that I could ever have imagined. Do you find yourself struggling to move beyond a heartbreak or a hardship, asking God, why me? Well, I'm here to help women just like you heal and build the resilience to overcome life's greatest trials. If you long for joy and confidence again, this podcast is for you. So grab your headphones and those hardships. Let's talk. Hey there, my friend, and welcome back to Bounce Back Black Woman. I'm Coach Dell, and today we're going to talk about something that I know that someone listening really needs to hear. Strength doesn't just happen by accident. We love to say, time heals all wounds, but in reality, that's not true. Time can help, but without making intentional choices and taking intentional action, time just passes. Healing and resilience are not automatic. They are built with intention. So let me take you back to a season in my own life when I had to face this head on. I was single, again, living in a quiet but growing suburban town. Most of my friends were married, many long-term married, like double digits and adult children. And honestly, there wasn't much of a single scene that I was a part of in that city. And on top of that, I was in a state whose politics and values just didn't align with my own. And I would sit in my living room and think, if I stay here, am I ever going to really build the life that I want? Am I ever going to get the things that I so desire? Maybe I would have. But in that moment, the realization that it might never happen hit me hard. Because the truth is, nothing was going to change unless I made a decision. And so I did something bold. I packed up and I moved across the country. Was it scary? You better believe it was scary. Was it expensive? Yes, it was expensive. And it was uncertain. But what it also was intentional. And that intentionality is what gave me the strength to step into the next chapter of my life, rather than just sitting around waiting for strength to magically show up, or waiting for my life to magically change. And that's wild, because recently my own daughter faced a very similar decision. She's in her early 30s, and she had been living in a region that no longer served her, a place where she ended up after life got disrupted during COVID. And she made the intentional choice to return to California, where she could realign her life with her values, her vision, and her abruptly ended past. That choice reminded me so much of my own journey. And what I learned is that sometimes strength looks like saying, I don't have to stay here. I can choose something different. Now, here's the truth, my friend. Having strength after life's hardest seasons doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't just magically descend upon you. It comes through choices, intentional choices. So let me break it down into 3 parts. The first part, clarity precedes resilience. You can't build strength or resilience until you admit what's not working and challenge yourself to envision something better, something bigger, something more aligned with who you are. The second, choice creates change. Strength grows every time you take an intentional step, even the little ones, as long as it's a step that moves you toward the life that you want. Maybe it's a job change. Maybe it's a lifestyle change. Maybe it's a change from a house to an apartment, or a change to living with roommates to living on your own. Whatever that change is, you have the power of choice to make it. And the third, environment matters. Sometimes resilience requires that you shift your surroundings. And whether that's your physical location, the people that you surround yourself with, or the spaces that you spend your time in, know that the environment and the soil that you are planting in matters. Think about it kind of like going to the gym. And those that know me know that I don't particularly like the gym. But the reality is that you don't get stronger just because time passes. You get stronger because you put in the work. You put in the repetitions. And resilience is a muscle too, friend. Every intentional choice is like another rep that builds your capacity. And without those reps, time just passes. You stay stagnant. But with those reps, time becomes training. And training gets you to your final destination. Now, in the Bible, Isaiah 43:19 says this. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? God is always inviting us into newness. And Proverbs 16:9 reminds us of this. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our steps. Our intentional choices do matter, my friend, but they're not separate from God's direction. In fact, He meets us in those choices, and He orders our steps as we walk them out. So, what's the cost of avoiding change? When people believe that strength and healing just happen with time, then years go by, and they're still waiting for that change to just happen. They often look around and wonder why nothing is different. Or they compare themselves to other people and think, why am I not further along? The cost of avoiding intentional change is that life does not move forward. The truth is that they haven't made the intentional choices that build strength. And that realization can sting, can hurt, and keep you stuck. But that realization is also freeing. Because once you know that your choices matter, you don't have to keep waiting. You can act. You can act with intention. So here's what I want you to take away from today's episode. Strength after life's hardest seasons is built, not found, not just magically discovered. And it's built on clarity, choice, and courage. And here's your journal prompt for the week. Where in my life have I been waiting for time to heal me, when what I really need is to make an intentional choice? And if you want to take it a step further, friend, here's one more. What is one small step that I could take this week, that aligns with the life that I actually want? My friend, know that your strength isn't an accident. It is a choice that you make every day. And this conversation isn't finished, because in the next episode, I'm going to get super practical and share the 5 daily habits that I personally use to build resilience and confidence. You won't want to miss it, so make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so that you'll get alerted and can come back for episode 33. My friend, your bounce back isn't just a dream. It is possible. And if you're ready to take the next step, make sure to check out the show notes or head over to bouncebackblackwoman.com and subscribe to the weekly insider emails, because that's where I share what's on my heart and the resources to help you keep growing. So let's keep bouncing back together. Well, that's it for today, my friend. I really hope this episode inspired, encouraged, or just plain comforted you. If so, please share it with a friend who might be struggling in her own healing journey. And if you take a moment to leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts, you'll help other women find encouragement through their heartbreak. Remember that God is holding your hand along this journey. And guess what? I'm holding the other. Life is short, so bounce back, Black woman.